I've learned that sometimes walking away is the only way to find myself again. In the silence, I can finally hear my own voice, and I'm starting to remember the person I was before you. Leaving you behind was not an easy decision, but in the end, it was the only choice I could make to preserve my peace. Sometimes the hardest goodbyes lead to the most beautiful new beginnings. I didn't choose to walk away out of hatred. I did it because I needed to heal. Sometimes love means letting go, even when it feels like the hardest thing you could ever do. In the stillness of my heart, I find a strength I never knew existed. Living without you isn't as empty as I feared. It's a journey of rediscovery, one step at a time. When I walked away, I thought I was losing everything, but now I realize that what I gained was far more valuable. The chance to be whole again, to love myself without conditions. It's strange how absence can reveal the truth. Without you, I see how much I've grown, how much I've learned to stand on my own. Maybe this was the path I was always meant to take. I thought I needed you to feel complete, but in your absence, I found the pieces of myself I had long forgotten. Living without you has opened my eyes to who I truly am. Deciding to live without you wasn't an act of revenge, but an act of self-love. I needed to find the courage to let go, so I could embrace the future with an open heart. It's funny how life works. The very thing I feared the most, living without you, turned out to be the thing that taught me to thrive, to heal, and to grow beyond what I ever imagined. In the moments when I miss you, I remind myself that I have been here before, surviving, thriving, and learning. I am not the same person I was when we were together. I don't regret leaving. Sometimes you have to make the hard choice to let go and trust that life will lead you to a place where your heart can finally heal and grow. The hardest part wasn't walking away. It was learning to be okay without you. But now, with each passing day, I realize that I am stronger than I thought. Leaving you wasn't a sign of weakness. It was a sign of strength. I had to choose me for once, even if it meant facing the unknown and trusting that life would guide me back to peace. I thought my world would collapse without you, but instead it expanded in the space where you once were. I found room for dreams, for growth, for a future I never dared to imagine. Living without you is a lesson in patience. I'm learning that healing takes time, and the wounds of the past will eventually fade, making space for new hope and possibilities. There's something freeing about knowing that I can live without you. I no longer rely on someone else's presence to define my worth. I am enough just as I am. The process of letting go is painful, but it's also transformative. I'm learning that it's okay to walk away, that it's okay to choose my own happiness, even if it means leaving you behind. The absence of you in my life doesn't feel like emptiness anymore. It's a quiet space where I'm learning to live for myself, to prioritize my own needs, and to remember who I truly am. I never imagined living without you would feel like freedom, but here I am, reclaiming my life, finding joy in the little things, and discovering that I don't need anyone to complete me. Walking away from you was the hardest decision I've ever made, but it was the best one. I'm learning to trust myself again, to embrace my independence, and to remember what it feels like to be at peace. The pain of leaving has softened over time, and in its place, I've found the courage to start over. Living without you is not a punishment, but a chance to build a new life on my own terms. It wasn't until I decided to live without you that I realized how much of my life I had been holding on to out of fear. Now that I'm free, I can finally breathe and let my soul be at peace. Living without you has shown me that my worth was never tied to anyone else's presence. I am whole on my own, and I'm learning to embrace the beauty of my own company. The world didn't stop when I walked away from you, and neither did I. It took time, but I've learned to love the life I'm creating without you, a life that's just for me. Leaving you wasn't about choosing the future over the past. It was about choosing myself over the pain. Now, I'm learning to embrace the journey of rediscovery, and I'm finding beauty in the process. I've come to realize that life without you isn't as lonely as I once believed. It's an opportunity to reconnect with myself, to reimagine what's possible, and to build a life I love. It's not easy to let go of someone you once thought you couldn't live without. But now, with time, I see that I can thrive without you. I've learned to love myself in ways I never thought possible.